Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first Beyond Crystals here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. My name is Meg Moonbeam, and I'm here with my Scorpio soul sister, Sunny from Pluto. Sunny, how's it going?
Hi, good. I'm excited. How are you?
Yay, I'm really excited. And I know a lot of people are very excited out there in the Beyond Mystic audience. They've been excited for the whole week, knowing that we're starting this new show. And for most people, Sunny is a new face. So we're going to get into introductions. We're going to get into what the heck this Beyond Crystals show is all about. We're going to be talking about crystals for the astrological signs for the next 4 weeks. And starting in today's inaugural show, we're going to talk about the crystals for the fire signs. So thank you so much for joining us. Hello, MJ in the chat. Hello, Jenny. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And before we get into the magic of crystals, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Beyond Mystic channels. And also check out Carla, our Pisces sister over at Ascension Organites, currently has a Father's Day giveaway sale valid until June 15th. You can use code Father's Day, all in one word, to get 25% off. Sunny, oh my God, there you are. Okay, sorry. We had we had a little bit of technical issues going on with the StreamYard since yesterday, so a little bit of funky stuff going on. Sunny, how do we know each other? Okay, let's start off with our connection because we know each other very, very well. Many people here on the Beyond Mystic platform are seeing you for the first time. Do you want to give a little just background on yourself and how we know each other?
A background on myself?
Yeah.
Sure. I am Sunny. Hi. I am a mystical crystal priestess that was born into this very dense planet realm that we call Mother Earth, which is okay because there's lots of beautiful things happening here. And yeah, I've been kind of just a witchy little girl since I was a baby. And one day, God blessed me and showed me a dark haired raven beauty at school. And we bonded over my Green Day purse in
Yeah.
high school. And Meg really liked Green Day, and I really liked Green Day. So she commented on my purse. And then I was like, I'm a Scorpio. What are you? And she's like, I'm a Scorpio. Oh my God. And then, yeah, we kind of just got really close from there and bonded over our interest in music and kind of mystical, weird things, spiritual things that most people around us weren't into, except for just us
Mhm.
two. So it was like,
Yeah.
whoa, finally, like somebody who kind of gets it. I mean, I had
Yeah.
another Scorpio friend too. I don't want to like dismiss my friendship with Kylie, who Meg also knows, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Meg and I, it was just like it was the music too. It was just something different, something
Yeah.
exploded between us. And yeah, more and more along the journey, crystals kind of came into the picture. And yeah, I don't know. That's like the vaguest way I could put it in the show. Is that good
That's
enough?
the yeah, that's the short story short of the long
Yeah.
story long.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leah says twin flames. Yeah, we are definitely like soulmate partners for sure.
It's
Yes.
so funny.
Soul sisters, and am I a year or two? I'm 2 years
Yes, you're
older
2
than
years
you.
older than me.
So, I think I was what, 16 or 17 when we met, and
Yeah,
you were like
14.
15 or
Like
something like
15,
that.
yeah, 14 or 15, yeah.
14 or 15. So absolutely wild. And I'm so grateful for our friendship and so cool that we are going to be sharing this Beyond Crystals weekly new show. I know crystals is something that many people in the Beyond Mystic audience is very interested in. A lot of people are new to the subject. So we're very excited and honored to be able to share the magic and wisdom of the crystal realm. So should we talk a little bit about what is this new, before we get into the contents of the show, which is crystals for the fire sign specifically? What are we going to be looking at in this Beyond Crystals weekly show, Sunny? What are you excited to get into with the people, with the audience?
For the series that we're starting or just in general?
Yeah, in general with the
Okay.
series.
Okay, yeah. So our first four shows? Yeah, four shows
Hmm.
are going to be based on astrology and crystals for the signs that kind of coincide with our new well, they do coincide with our new crystal astrological crystal kit collection on the Scorpling shop.
Yeah.
And I'm just really excited to talk about crystals, to talk about my experience with crystals, to the more I talk about crystals with people who also work with crystals or have experiences with crystals, like the more, I don't know, my mind gets blown, but also it's not surprising because there's just so many synchronicities with crystals and how much
Yeah.
their energy really influences like what we can attract or what we can learn or what we can awaken within ourselves. So
Mhm.
it's just, I think like the collaborative part of it, it's not just myself like having these crazy experiences on my own. It's like actually sharing it with people, seeing it like
Right.
come to life more. And actually, I think it makes the energy of or the intention or whatever the power behind the crystal healing even more intensified. So it will just bring
Mhm.
more manifestation, I guess, to whatever it is that we're working on when we're kind of affirming each other or sharing it collectively.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure, and I'm so excited because I know a lot of people in our like-minded community, we feel this draw towards whether it's astrology or crystals or the tarot, these certain kind of, subjects in esoterica that go way back into our past lives and our soul lineage. For many of us, I think we lived in civilizations like Atlantis or Lemuria or ancient Egypt, some of these ancient times, and even on distant planets where it was totally normal and accepted that crystals are magical, magical allies to work with, and there's so much healing that can be done with them. So I'm excited that we're living in times where the crystals are getting more and more trendy. You know that, Sunny, working,
Yeah.
you've been working in crystals full time for what, the past like 7 years?
Um like full time, yeah, like 2017, I think, or 2018, something like that.
Okay, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've seen how it's been growing and growing and growing in popularity.
Yes, yes, for sure. Like everybody likes crystals now. Like ever, like
Yeah.
I think it had hit a peak in 2020 for sure. I don't know why, but I mean, well, I kind of know why, but it's interesting to see. We've been working with
Yeah.
crystals for a long time.
And what got you into crystals? Have you always been interested into crystals, or was there a certain point in life where that activated within you?
Um, I don't think I was like conscious of it, but the first crystal I saw was a crystal that my great grandfather mined from Sicily. So
Mhm.
that was just something that I knew was there, and I remember I would just like stare at it and be like, what is this?" And it was just it was very interesting. And I actually like saw like images of like men like mining and stuff in mountains, but I didn't understand what that meant because I was like really small.
Right.
And there was a few other instances when I was younger where like I got maybe like a piece of jewelry with a crystal in it and I had like a very strong reaction to it. And I didn't
Mhm.
realize that it was that until I mean further along and I'm like, oh yeah, that was the crystal. But it was like happening at the same time. I went to this occult shop that was in Toronto because I used to live with my dad for a few years in Toronto. And then also my friend Kylie was learning more about astrology and also starting to wear crystals. So like we both had kind of like this thing with crystals at the same time.
Mhm.
And my first like official crystal, like I mean, I don't know, actually, it's not my first official crystal, but my first crystal that I actually bought myself was just like a rose quartz because I wanted some boy at school to like me. So that's basically what happened.
Really?
Yes.
Really smart.
A rose quartz is not focusing though. There we go.
Love it. Yeah, there we go. That's a
Yeah, because
classic.
I was trying to get some guy to like me. It's so stupid. Learning about spells and stuff like that. And I don't know, yeah, I just like I liked them. And then I found the store Cash's Den in Oakville when I moved back to Oakville and started buying crystals. And then yeah, I don't know.
Cool. Yeah, and I got into the crystals a little bit later than you and when I started working at that spiritual
Yeah.
store in the town where we kind of grew up. Well, you grew up in kind of Toronto, Mississauga, Etobicoke, Oakville. For me, it was mostly Oakville. So in Oakville, Ontario, there's a store called Akasha's Den, and I started working there. I think when I was 20 or 21 for 4 or 5 years, and got completely surrounded by crystals. They have an amazing crystal collection at that store, and selling crystals to the public and to the community and learning about them and expanding my crystal collection. And I noticed once I started integrating the crystals into my spiritual practice, whoa, man, do things amplify and you go to a whole other level of your
Yeah.
healing journey. That's what I've witnessed. Did you notice that too?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It just like opens a lot up. And when I first started working with crystals too, I mean I still do, but I put them, I just intuitively knew to like put them under my pillow to just see what's
Right.
happening, because I was always like very psychic, vivid dreamer. So it's like I know that I'm having these like very intense spiritual experiences while I'm sleeping and dreaming. So I'm like, okay, let's see like what I can learn about this by adding, or learn about the crystals by adding them into my dream time. And it's just like, it's just, you can't even, I don't even, I'm like lost for words, because I learned stuff about like spirituality, about myself, like about the universe, about like ancient teachings, like chakras. Like I didn't even know what chakras were, and I had a crystal under my pillow at one point, and it literally told me that it was aligning my chakras. I saw the chakras come up, the right colors, like cylindrical, and then they were like all different levels, and then they evened out or balanced out. And then the next day at school, this girl had like a chakra Bible. I was like, what the heck is that? So it's just like stuff like that. It's just I didn't know. And
Wow.
they're computers. And yeah, I don't know. Like I'm grateful that I'm able to like tap in and tune into that energy, because I feel like sometimes it's hard for people, because it can be very mental, and it is
Yeah.
very, it's like it's non, like I mean they are physical, but the experiences a lot of the time are non-physical things. So
Right.
it's hard to like, it's like when you're testing your intuition, or if you don't know if it's your intuition or if it's your worry or something, it's like hard to, for a lot of us to, yeah, to separate, okay, what is actually real information and what is my mind going crazy kind of thing. So
Hmm.
I don't know where I went with that. I think I had another point, but that's okay.
That's okay. It'll come back. Yeah, I remember you telling me that years ago when you had that dream where the crystal was aligning your chakras and you were seeing your chakras for the first time.
Yeah.
That's wild. Crazy stuff happens like that when you work with crystals and gems and minerals, you guys. I had the other day, Sunny makes these crystal jujus, these special crystal necklaces that are available at the Scorpling shop. And Sunny made one for me a while ago that's a moldavite.
Oh,
And
yeah.
today I'm wearing my tanzanite, but I hadn't worn my moldavite in a really long time. And I put it on, I think it was the day that actually Herb went missing.
Oh, okay.
So, or the day before Herb. So Sunny's cat went missing a couple weeks ago. Very intense recent situation, and it was like all these crazy things just happened really fast within the 2 days that I had the Moldavite on for the first time in a long time. And I was like, okay, need to take a break. That was a little bit really intense. So they can be really intense, you guys, working with the crystals. And it's also important to know if you're hearing about crystals from us for the very first time, it's okay to take breaks from the crystals because they can be a lot of energy to the point where sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, or you need to come back into your own energy. So I
Mhm.
know when I first started working at Akasha's Den and being around the crystals and the minerals all the time, I was like covered in all these crystal bracelets and having so many in my pockets. And it can be a little bit too much having so much on you at one time. Does that resonate with you, Sunny?
Yes, it does. And it's also interesting too, because certain crystals will resonate with you at certain times. Um, or sometimes you'll get used to the crystal's energy. Like if you have a new crystal that you haven't worked with before, you might really, really feel it for like the first few days or
Right.
first few weeks. And then you get used to it, because like it's in your energy field. So it's like familiar to you now. So it's like your energy has like up leveled to match that frequency kind of. So yeah, I mean, energy is like constantly shifting, changing, especially for us. We're like fluid. We have the thoughts. We're not like super stable. So that's why crystals are
Yeah.
also great allies to have too, because they can keep you stable. But yes, I agree. Sometimes it's nice to just like not have any crystals around. I remember
Yeah.
one time when we were living together, actually, I had a migraine really bad, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, can you please take all of the crystals out of my room right now? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
I was like, "Meg, please." I was like, "You need to take every crystal out of my room right now. I can't handle it. It's so
Oh
much."
my
Like,
god.
it was a lot.
Wow. Yeah, sometimes it can be a lot. We don't wanna freak you guys out from the crystals, but just being honest that they are very, very powerful to where sometimes maybe you need to take a break from having them in the bedroom. Maybe you need to take a break from actually wearing them. The first few years I worked with crystals, I just wanted them on me all the time. And I think that that was part of my kind of awakening journey. And then now I'm at a place where, okay, sometimes I won't wear any crystals or I'll go a little bit without even holding any. So, yes, Hilo Joe says crystals are way better than big.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And also recently we had, before we get into crystals for this fire signs, just want to give a shout out to Carla at Ascension Organites. We had so much fun at the Beyond Mystic conference. Our booth was directly opposite Carla's booth. And
Yes.
that was so much fun. We were very busy. Sunny,
Yes.
we were very busy. We didn't get a lot of sleep, but how did you enjoy the Beyond Mystic conference, meeting a lot of the Beyond Mystic family?
It was fun. It was cool. Yeah, it was a lot of talking to lots of people, which I don't do mostly. So I was like beat at the end of every day, and I was working and making sure that everything was good and organized. So it was really fun though. I liked it. It went by fast, even though like it was a lot in a really short period of time. So that's why it was like kind of like a whirlwind, but it was fun and exciting, and I like to be out doing different things and being busy. So
Yeah.
it's good excitement added to my life.
Yeah, it was
It's such a
very fun.
scorpionic like experience though, because it's like everything all the time. It's like everything happens all at once, and you have to be ready for this time. And it's like, oh, and you have like a time crunch, and it's like intense. Like it's just everything all at once.
Yeah, it was a lot and such an amazing experience. I'm so grateful for it and looking forward to the next one. Gonna be interesting to see when JC announces when the next one will be. We'll have to stay tuned for that. So today we're going to be getting into crystals for the fire signs, right, Sunny?
Yeah.
So before we get into that, can we just talk very basic, because there might be some people listening like, I've never worked with crystals before. I don't know anything about crystals. We're going to be doing this weekly show, you guys. So you're about to hear a lot from Sunny and us, from Sunny and I about the crystals. But what would be your basic explanation of starting to work with crystals? Some kind of, I mean, there's no rules. Do whatever resonates with you guys. I hate when people create rules. Sunny and I, we've talked about that, how
Mhm.
people create so many rules of what to do with the crystals. But what would be some of your guidance for people that's just starting out?
Uh, don't worry about the rules. That's like basically the first thing, like what Meg said. Don't worry about, oh, am I going to do this right? Am I going to do this right? Honestly, just allow yourself to be attracted to whatever it is that you like, whatever it is that you can afford,
Mm-hmm.
um, that you don't, yeah, that something that you feel like you can add into your life without feeling uncomfortable with the investment, just in case like you're not into it or something. Although
Yeah,
crystals keep their value and they're beautiful natural resources, but um
exactly.
just go to where you're attracted to, and don't feel bad that's like, oh, is it just because I like the color? Is it just, it doesn't matter. Just go to what feels familiar and feels good for you, because that energy is needed in your life for a reason. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the easiest way to open the door for you to understand the crystal energy. So if you really
Mm-hmm.
like blue and you're attracted to blue and you see a blue crystal, buy a blue crystal. Don't put judgments on like what kind of crystal it is, what does it do, what is it going to do for me? Is it like, there's so many different types of crystals. There's like heated crystals too, or like treated
Yeah.
crystals. If you like the treated crystals or the heated crystals, if that's where you're being called, go into that direction. Everybody starts somewhere. So whatever you feel most attracted to, I would say just go in that direction, honestly. Um
Yeah.
don't worry about what it does or what it doesn't do.
Right.
And then you'll, I mean, learn what it does and what it doesn't do. And I could give recommendations on what are good places to start, but if you really just want to go like fully into it without judgment, just get whatever you're attracted to. I mean, there are crystals that are good for beginners,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean, just because there's certain crystals that are good for beginners doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to continuously learn from it in the future when you're already seasoned. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, rose quartz is a great stone for beginners. It's very popular. You'll always
Mm-hmm.
find a piece of rose quartz. It's not super expensive. It's pretty. Yeah, you'll find right away that it makes you feel good, that it makes you feel calm. I
Mm-hmm.
personally for years haven't worked with rose quartz because there's so many crystals, and I'm like a crystal
Right.
priestess learning about all these different crystals and having all these different lessons with crystals. And also like the quality of crystals, so like more higher gem quality crystals has been like the journey that I've been on lately. But
Mm-hmm.
there was a time this year where I really needed rose quartz. It was like going back to my roots, and there's nothing wrong with going back to
Wow.
your roots because we all need to like you said, have like a break or like be grounded at some point. So I needed to love myself and to learn how to love myself and to learn what was important. And rose quartz was still teaching me that lesson like 15 years, however many years later.
Yeah.
So is that like, am I kind of, do you want me to talk
No,
about
that's
crystals for beginners, or should we just,
no,
is that
that's great. I
okay?
think we can get into the crystals for the fire signs. That was a great introductory explanation, and I completely agree with everything you just said. And I think it's so important that piece around there are no rules. Crystals are magical elemental beings. We are magical earth beings. And if you just tune into the crystals, sit with the crystals, follow your intuition, as everybody's saying in the class, in the live chat, sorry, kind of like a class. Yeah, they will speak to you, right? And you will be guided to the ones that you're meant to work with in the moment. And you will see things that come up in your life and breakthroughs that you have. So it's such a magical journey to work with the crystals. And hello, Coco in the chat. Very nice to see you. So, okay, let's start to get into fire
Hmm.
signs. So, first week today, we're going to be getting into fire sign crystals. Next week, we're going to talk about the earth signs. Then the next week, we'll get into air signs. And then last week of the month, we'll talk about the water signs. So, our fire signs in astrology are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And some key words that we would associate with the fire signs are, well, these are masculine signs. Fire is a very masculine associated element traditionally. These signs are about life force, action, energy. We got Coco, she's a Sagittarius in the chat. They're very energetic, passionate, creative, all about stamina, willpower as well. I didn't put that on there, but they're very much about willpower, movement, impulsiveness, their initiative, outgoing, confident. They're open to change, very positive energy and fun.
Mhm.
Anything you would add to that, Sunny?
Um, they like attention.
That is so true.
Look at me. Look at what I can do.
Yeah.
Like they like praise. They like to be recognized for how they've dressed or how they've shown up or have they done something really well, or if they have like a special skill or a hobby, they like to be noticed for that.
Mhm.
They just need the compliments, they just need the praise, they just need the love. They need to be loved.
Yeah. Coco says, "You're spot on, Sunny." LOL. And you know why that is? Because fire signs themselves are very, very loving, very, very loving. They're very, very generous. All the Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius placements I know. So if they're so loving, of course, they want to have that validation or that love or that attention
Mhm.
themselves.
I mean,
Definitely.
I got Mars in the first house of Leo, so, I'm not hating. I need attention, I need praise. Look at
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, Tracy in the chat says, "Triple fire here.
Oh,
What
wow.
do I need? Holy guacamole." Okay, so we're gonna get into, Tracy, actually some remedies if you are like a triple water sign, fire sign like yourself, if there's excess fire. So we will get into that, Tracy. I love when there's someone who has triple, like, one of our best friends, Vanessa, is triple air
Here.
in her sun, moon, and rising. She's a Libra sun, moon in Gemini, Aquarius. Absolutely wild. So, okay,
Mhm.
those are some of the keywords there. So it's all about life force and energy and being alive, right? And so cool in the current astrology, we've got Saturn moving into Aries, Neptune going into Aries, in 2026, Jupiter going into Leo. So we're starting to get more of the fire influence. Things are going to start
Mhm.
getting more fun, more energetic, more confident, more alive. We've been in like these dark ages these past few years with so much earth and water, which are very, very
What did you
heavy
say about something going into
elements.
Leo? What's going into Leo?
Jupiter is going into Leo,
No,
June.
Cancer.
Yeah, Jupiter is going into Cancer this year, but then June of 2026,
Oh,
Jupiter goes
I
into
was
Leo.
like, it hasn't even gotten into Cancer yet. What are you talking about? I was like,
I know,
wait.
it's just a year away, and that's gonna
Oh,
be
that's
really,
exciting
really
too. Wow. Okay, cool. The next two Jupiter, yeah, ingressions are gonna be fun. Okay, good.
yeah, and then we
Okay,
got
good.
Jupiter. Yeah, it's gonna be really good. Okay, cool. So let's talk about Aries crystals that we recommend. And this is Sunny and I's intuitive uh, channeling
Yeah.
that we've come up with. Many different people will say different things. So this is what we really resonate with, what we were guided to share with you guys for each of the signs. Sunny, do you want to talk about these crystals that we've suggested and some of the themes with them
Sure.
for Aries?
So yeah, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it's a fire sign. It's an initiator. He started the fire, and he's gonna go, and he's not gonna give up until he's the best and he's the number one. So
Yeah.
Aries is very much the warrior, and we have crystals here that we chose in our kit here specifically for being a warrior and supporting that fiery, pioneering, um, strong energy that it takes to
Mhm.
be that warrior. So, yeah, so we have a carnelian. I got my little kit here. It comes in, it comes in this
Yeah.
velvet or satin, I should say. You get your little card. And then so we have the
Nice.
carnelian. And yeah, so carnelian is a type of agate, which is just agate is translucent chalcedony, which is a microcrystalline quartz. So all agates are basically quartz. But yeah, so this carnelian is actually a very ancient stone. It's very abundant on the planet, and it's been worn by kings and queens and warriors for like centuries. So definitely makes sense to add it with the Aries. It just looks like
Mhm.
fire when you look at it, and it can be like more red or it can be more orange. It can have like banding of it. And I find it even sometimes looks like organs. So definitely helps with um like your heart health, liver health, organ health, that kind of stuff. Even
Mhm.
your womb as a woman
Yeah.
um brings strength there, like with the blood, very like purifying of the blood. I feel like a lot of these all of these Aries crystals are actually really good for blood, for your blood.
Yep, for sure.
It's like the blood that boils. It's like your drive. It's like it's your part of your life force, or I don't know if your blood is
Mhm.
your life force, but it's like, I mean, you need your blood to live. It's
For
like
sure.
saying when your blood boils, it's like what drives you. So
Mhm.
yeah. So do you want to talk about carnelian, or do you want me to tell you anything that I've experienced with carnelian?
Yeah, talk about what have you
Okay.
experienced with carnelian?
So for me, sometimes like it's uh, it's kind of like counteractive for me to work with crystals that are like very fiery sometimes, because I have like a very fiery energy, and a lot of these fiery signs are very creative signs, and they're very sexy sorry, stones, very sexy um stones. So for me, it's
Mhm.
like I kind of don't need to be wearing garnets or carnelians all the time, because it might make me feel overly sexual, which is kind of
Right.
it's too much. It's too much creative energy for me. So if that's something that you need in your life, totally good for you to go outside with. For me, I rather use these crystals while I'm inside and actually working through maybe even like sexual trauma, or like and doing like sexual
Mm.
healing and sexual womb healing. um it's better for me to use these in my own time instead of going out into the world, because that part of my life is already a very vulnerable part of my life, and for it to be even more exposed in public would make me it's too much for me.
Mhm.
So um yeah, I mean, it's great for motivation, for starting new projects, like everything that Aries and Mars kind of represents. It's like very initiating, confidence. If you want to, this is a great stone to use if you want to find like a new job, or if you're trying to prove yourself in your job or get a new position. Uh, it's just a stone about ambition and action and strength. Yeah. If you had any sexual trauma, it's very good. I've used it just to send like the healing energy, like love and strength back to like the womb space.
Mm.
Anything that you want to say about it? Also, this is a great stone for beginners as well.
Yeah, I would say it's interesting. All the ones that we have in the Aries kit, they're very much like what I would call some of the essentials, some of
Yeah.
the essentials. I consider carnelian to be an essential. I feel like I find carnelian to be very, very comforting for
Mm.
me. It's interesting because it is a very fiery, Aries related crystal, but there's something about it that I actually find really comforting
Well, you
for
have
some
Mars in
reason.
Cancer.
Yeah,
So maybe
so that
that's
makes sense.
it's helpful for you because it helps the Mars and Cancer like just relax for a bit because there's that
Yeah,
extra strength that you need there that you're not like having to feel like you need to protect yourself all the time. It's like
exactly.
bringing in. So that's where a remedy would come in.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
And I actually feel like these Aries crystals that we're prescribing in the crystal kit are really good for all of us right now because we've got
Mhm.
Saturn in Aries for the
Mhm.
next 3 years. Saturn is at fall in Aries. Aries does rule the blood. Aries does rule the head. Aries does rule like the physical body and medical astrology along with Taurus. So I feel like these are really good ones actually for anybody to be kind of having on you right now during the Saturn
Mhm.
and Aries transit. So
I
not just
also
that you
sorry.
no, it's okay.
Okay. I was
Where
also
are you
thinking before when we went live that you don't necessarily have to buy the kits if you're like an Aries. You don't necessarily have to buy the Aries kit, but it's good to look at maybe where in your chart Aries is ruling or any of the fire signs are ruling, and then you can if you're seeing in that aspect of life. So let's say you have like Aries in the 7th house or something and you're having issues like in your relationships, initiating conversations, nourishing the relationships, or going for like the things that you want, bringing people together, having more harmony or whatever. It would be good to have get those Aries crystals to help with that
yeah,
area of life, if that makes sense. That's just an example.
that yeah, that makes total sense for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we've got carnelian and then we've got garnet, which I absolutely love the
I like that
energy
too.
of garnet. That's one of those ones that we find all throughout, even going into ancient civilizations. Garnet is one of those ones that has been used by a lot of ancient civilizations going back, and even in modern times, it's one of the kind of more mainstream ones to get
Mhm.
into as well. And
Mhm.
we associate it with definitely warriorship. It's very strong energy. Sometimes I find garnet to be a little bit too. Hematite has the same thing to me as garnet does, where it's a strong energy and you feel it in your hands when you're
Mhm.
holding it. Do you ever have that, Sunny?
With garnet, I have kind of it depends. So there's actually a lot of different types of garnet.
Yeah.
This one is an almondine garnet, which is the most popular garnet or like the most abundant or most affordable garnet, I guess. But yeah, it's very strong for sure. I have like the same issue depending on who I'm with or where I'm going as I did with the carnelian. So it's like very activating. Like I cannot be wearing it or else I'm just like gonna act like a feral cat.
Kundalini explosion.
Yeah, feral cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, garnet is ancient. Garnet has been used for like
Mhm.
thousands of years. Again, worn by
Yeah,
kings, queens, warriors in their armor. I even found out recently that some like ancient Asian tribes actually used garnet as bullets instead of regular bullets
really?
because they thought it would be like more effective because garnet is associated with blood. And also back in like medieval times and before, like doctors would or whatever they were called, practitioners, healers would actually
Yeah.
prescribe garnet for people if they had blood impurities or if they wanted to avoid getting like some type of a bloodborne disease.
Wow.
Yeah,
Isn't that so interesting that up until the witch trial times, crystals and astrology were just normal parts of,
I
the
know.
medical field?
I know.
Like, everybody just accepted, "Oh, yeah, crystals are healing. Oh, yeah, astrology shows you your medical astrology."
They're crystallized
Right?
minerals. Like we need minerals to survive and these are just they're
Yeah.
like in a solid form and you know They have energy. Everything has energy. So the energy of those minerals combined is like what's helping with specific issues or ailments.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. And hematite, that's one of my all-time favorite Christies. I find hematite to be really helpful.
Mhm. Yeah, so it's funny because hematite was one of those ones where I was just like, "I don't give a crap about this, like, at all. Don't care. It's so boring. Boring!" Like, I used to think it was so boring, but it's because I was so up here and, like, doing all the
Mhm.
astral traveling and stuff, and I was chilling with the amethyst, so I'm like, "Why would I want this? Like, that's stupid." But,
Right.
the past few years, especially actually recently, like, I am really into the metals, and hematite is a necessity really, I think, especially if you are somebody who can astral project or who is a channeler, because your connection with the earth is so much deeper because hematite is so abundant, like it's everywhere in the ground.
Right.
It's all over the place. It's an iron oxide mineral, and I mean that's like most of our planet. And
Mhm.
it's so grounding, but it's grounding in a way where it actually clears the connection and brings in the things that um are safe. I don't know how to explain it. It's like it protects you from what actually doesn't need to be coming into your field. For
Right.
example, one night I was constantly having astral projection, like constantly over and over and over, and it was getting
Yeah.
scary. And then I realized like something is trying to actually take me out of my body because in each dream, each sequence, there was somebody that I trusted who wanted to hug me. But when I got closer to them, I was like, that's not right. So it's like if they were to actually touch me, my astral body, would they be able to take me away? I'm getting goosebumps. I was gonna
Oh
be
my
able to get
god.
access to this thing. So I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I literally heard like a voice saying, you need hematite right now. Get this. I was at my dad's apartment, and for my dad's birthday, I gave him a bracelet, a hematite bracelet, and the spirit, like whatever it was, my angels, guides, my higher self, told me it's in this drawer in the kitchen. You need it, or else this is not going to stop. I
Oh
woke up
my
and I
gosh.
went into the kitchen, and the bracelet was there, and I put it under my pillow, and it stopped. I was like, I don't want hematite. I don't want hematite. It's like, well, you need it because
You
it's
need it.
clear, it's getting rid of the stuff that wants to come in because you're so open right now. It's actually
Yeah.
protecting you and clearing your field. You're still gonna have that open connection, but you're not allowing like the astral demons or whatever the heck they're called into your field.
Mhm.
That's one of my most profound experiences with hematite. What about you?
Wow. Oh my god. Well, it's interesting. What comes to mind for me is in 2013, 2014, when I was working at that store I was talking about, Akasha's Den, and the owners, sponsored me to do some courses. I did, like, an angel guidance and healing practitioner course and Reiki courses, and Sunny was in some of those courses with me. And it was so much energy being around, like, that many like-minded people for the first time, having my third eye getting expanded. I literally had experiences where I became ungrounded and left my body, and I was watching myself from above, and I would actually have that experience many times working at the crystal store because there was so many energies, and I wasn't being very grounded and in self-care at that time in my life, where when I would hold 2 big pieces of hematite in both hands, I would whoop, just automatically come back into my body. So for me, I love it for brings me right back, and there's something about the hematite where it brings, like, an awareness to my feet also. When I'm
Mm,
holding it, I have it on me, I'm aware of, "Oh, I've got feet and I've got legs and I've got a body," which might sound kinda stupid, but when
yeah.
you're very in your head and in your intuition, sometimes we're not in the
In our
body. That's
body.
why
Yeah.
it's so important for us to be doing earthing and grounding
Yeah.
as empaths, and I feel like it's a really good one that we associated with Aries because it is so protective, and
Mhm.
Aries are very naturally protective. They're usually very, very good at boundaries, protection, so I feel like it's a
You
good
know
one
what?
that we
There's a word that I forgot to put on the hematite thing, so I'm gonna have to add it after onto the new cards, but honestly, I really feel like focus is a good word to add for hematite because yeah, it's really grounding, it's clearing. Yeah, like I
yeah,
wrote clarity there. Yeah, it helps you just focus back into, like, what matters really. Okay,
mhm,
cool, we get it. There's things floating all around space, we can experience all these different things, but what matters actually? You're here right now. You're
Right.
in this body. You can't be floating around. Like, yeah, that's a great experience to have. Like, it helps you open your mind to like the infinite possibilities on the planet and in the universe and like what your gifts could be. But right here, right now is what matters. And you're in your body. You're in your body for a reason. So just clear out all the stuff that is kind of wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about hematite. Also, just want to say too that when hematite is powdered, when it's not like solid, it's actually red.
Mm.
So again, associated with the blood and with grounding more than just, it's black. Obviously, it's a metal, it's grounding, but it's red. The powder of hematite is red.
Exactly.
So when you
Yeah.
see hematite included in quartz, it will be red inclusions in the quartz.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Lady Venus Astrology says, wow, I just dusted off my hematite. Feels so grounding, just what I needed. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Yay, we're getting all the Christies out.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's Aries, and the crystals we have gotten our kits that we most associate with Aries. And I do think this is a really good remedy for the Saturn and Aries transit, having some of those, working with some of those Aries crystals. And also, if you feel like you're really unbalanced in some of those Aries ruled areas of life, your boundaries, your divine masculine, your focus, your sexuality, your creativity, your life force, these are some really good crystals to be working with as well.
Agree.
So let's move to Leo. Sunny, you're a Leo rising. You know all about the
Yes.
sign.
Yes.
Yeah. What would be some ways that you would? Oh, we got JC in the chat. Hello, JC. He says Dick Algier uses hematite when remote viewing for more signal clarity. That's fast.
Exactly. So that's I had that experience when I was a teenager, but that's a download that I got really strongly the past few months, especially was like, if you actually use hematite for channeling, it's clearer, it's safer. And it's better. Like the
Yeah.
more I get older, the more I realize, like you need to be grounded in order to have really that clear channel. So it actually is a really spiritual stone. And it's just funny because when I was starting out, I was like, this is so boring. Why the hell do I want hematite? That's not going to teach me anything. But it's actually teaching me like the hardest lesson, which is what we tend to avoid, right? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
one of my hardest lessons is being grounded in my body to actually
Yes,
have that clear, real connection with the divine in a way
exactly.
where I'm not losing myself or giving my power away to beings that might not be, benevolent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So Aries, the first sign in astrology, fire sign, and then we go to the second fire sign, which is Leo, which is all about fun and play and teenagers and the inner child and creativity. And okay, we're alive and now we're sharing our light into the world. It's the second fire sign. What are our gifts and talents, and being in your confidence, sharing those gifts and talents out in the world?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, these crystals that we've suggested are very much in alignment with the Leo energy, which is also the sign that rules the heart in astrology. Leo is the heart, and Leo is the only sign ruled by the sun, right? Our
Yeah.
life force giver. So, aventurine, we were kind of like, do we want to put a green crystal in there? But I'm happy that we did associate aventurine as one of the main ones for Leo. I
Yeah.
love the energy of it.
I think aventurine can be great for Aries too. Just saying that. But yeah, aventurine is actually one of the first crystals that I started wearing. So this was when I realized that wearing crystals is like my favorite way to actually work with the crystals. And
Right.
yeah, aventurine was that crystal. So here's a little aventurine from one of the kits,
Ooh,
Leo kits right now.
cute.
This stone, is totally fun. You wouldn't expect it. It's like unexpected. You wouldn't expect this little green thing to be able to show you so much of the world. It's like very worldly stone. Like if you're working with aventurine, expect to meet new people who maybe give you new opportunities, maybe meet your soulmate or the love of your life. Like when for some reason, every time I hold aventurine, my visual image is being in a casino and meeting like a millionaire or something, like, and someone like who's gonna
Wow.
sweep you off your feet. Like that's every time I hold aventurine, I just have like this image in my head. So, and aventurine is quartz, with mica inclusions. So fuchsite mica, which is just green mica inclusions. And yeah, it's all about confidence. It's all about new opportunities, new love, adventure. This is also a great stone to use if you're wanting to get like a new job, very associated with money. It's green, it's sparkly, it's fun. It's very like when I'm holding it, like you can see that my energy is like very excited and happy and like,
Right.
woo, let's go, let's go. I feel it in my
Yeah.
solar plexus, in my heart, inner child too. Yeah, the creativity, luck. It's just, this is just one of like those good luck, feel good stones that could be associated with all fire signs, but especially like the Leos who want to go out and have fun and be seen and meet other people who that they feel are up to their standards, because you know Leos have a high standard. They, I think
Mhm.
all fire signs do, but especially Leos, they have a high standard. They hold themselves to a certain standard, and they want to associate with people who they see at the same level. So it's like
Right.
attracting that kind of energy into your life when you're working with the aventurine.
Yeah, that's so cool, and you took the words right out of my mouth. I feel with the venturing total inner child joy, excuse me, inner child energy and frequency, so that's a great one for the inner child, for doing inner child healing work as well, and very lucky and just light, like you were saying, Sunny. It's very,
Yeah.
very magical and light and not an overbearing crystal,
No,
aventurine.
no.
Very soft. And
Yes.
sunstone, of course, we also associate it with because Leo is the sign of the sun. And sunstone is such a fun one, really good for what's that thing that some people have in the winter? Seasonal affective
Mhm.
disorder. That's really good for that.
Mhm.
Really good for joy, confidence, leadership, really good manifestation crystal as well. I don't
Yep.
think I've ever had a personal, I haven't personally worked with sunstone that much.
I've worked with it a few years ago, but yeah, I haven't worked with it a lot, but I've had it in my field. I've sold it. Sunstone is actually a type of feldspar, so you guys might hear that quite a few times during the series because certain signs have feldspar minerals in their uh, kits. And yeah, so this
Mhm.
is a type of feldspar. So feldspar in general is actually very like soothing to the emotions. It has a lot to do with how you feel and your overall outlook and your overall mood. But with this type of feldspar, the sunstone feldspar, um, it has iron and hematite or goethite inclusions as well, so that which creates like this reddy orangey um color saturation.
Mhm.
But another really
Mhm.
cool thing about it is that feldspar has a property called chatoyancy, which actually it makes it flash. So I'm sure you guys just saw that. So the red parts in the stone are actually flashy. So it's
So cool.
yeah, it's the inclusions of the iron and the hematite and the goethite which brings the feldspar more towards like the fire energy, the sun energy. Um yeah, and it's cool, man. Oh, it's also the state gemstone for Oregon, because Oregon
Mm.
is abundant in sunstone. It's like one of the most popular places to find sunstone. And also in that area, Native Americans were buried with sunstone to
Wow,
bring them blessings in the afterlife and for like the gods to receive them. So it's interesting. Very
that's
positive. Yeah,
beautiful.
it's very beautiful. So
Yeah.
because yeah, feldspar is associated with the emotions, and then we have the speckles of orange and red. It's like again, that confidence. I'm going to feel good about myself. I'm going to shine my brightest. I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to be
Mhm.
optimistic. Feldspar is really great for optimism too. Yeah, all of the Leo things, basically, all of the things that the sun represents, all of the things that Leo represents, like totally embodied in the stone for sure.
Yeah.
Leadership, confidence, radiance. Yeah.
Mhm. Totally, love it, and then we also have tiger's eye for Leo, and I have this tiger's eye, let me see if I can do a close up of it, unicorn that
Okay.
Sunny gifted me. Can I zoom in on it? Yeah. Can you guys
I'm
see that?
I'm hearing my voice playback on your video. I don't know if
Oh,
everybody else can hear that, but I can hear like my voice coming through. I don't know how to fix that, but
It sounds good on my end. If you guys can give us a 5 by 5 in the live chat, let us know if the sound is good. We're not seeing anybody mentioning anything so far,
Okay.
so I
Okay,
think
cool.
it's good
Okay.
so far. So yeah, tiger's eye, very protective, and that's another one. Thank you, Sharon, for the 5 by 5. That's another one that has been used since ancient times for protection by many different cultures. It's also tiger's eye is an interesting one because a lot of the really protective crystals tend to be very kind of dense and grounding and bringing you into your body. But tiger's eye does that, but is also very positive, very lucky, very brightening at the same time.
Mhm.
We put the keyword good fortune. So I feel like tiger's eye is a really cool mix, which is also Leo.
Yes.
Leo is the lion after all.
Mhm.
So Leos can be fun and they can play, but you piss a Leo off, they're gonna freaking, that's the king in the jungle,
Yeah.
right? They're gonna put up their boundary.
They're very protective. It's like, "Rah!" Yeah, totally seeing like a lion or like a tiger like walking around like, "Get away from me." Like,
Yeah.
don't screw with my pride." Um, this is actually really funny. I didn't realize it before, but, yesterday I was looking at it. I'm like, "Okay, wow, this again, this is the crystals working through us. This is how crystal healing and work happens naturally." We have 2 chatoyant crystals in this, kit for Leos. Again,
Mm,
so, Tiger's Eye has the chatoyancy, property, which means it's like it
yeah.
flashes, and, I mean, Leos are flashy, right? People always, like,
Mhm.
describe Leos as being flashier, like the sun, it's shining, so we have 2 very shiny crystals for the Leos, which I think is hilarious. We didn't do that on purpose. Um, And tiger star is actually a pseudomorph. I don't know if you knew that. So a pseudomorph is when one mineral replaces the original mineral. So the original mineral of tiger's eye is actually called crocodolite, and it's a type of asbestos,
Mhm.
which is like, don't worry, it's not going to hurt you. And then quartz actually grew on top of it, so it's like it's a quartz pseudomorph. It's interesting, but yeah. Really cool. That's a good beginner
Very
stone
cool.
too. I find that, like, a lot of men are attracted to tiger's eye,
Mhm.
and there's different colors of tiger's eye too. There's, red tiger's eye, there's blue tiger's eye.
But yeah, there's different kinds of tiger's eye.
Mhm.
Love it. Cool. So, okay, now we're gonna move and Leo, I feel like this kit is really good also for these times. It's another good remedy, I think, for all of us because we've currently got Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. Pluto is giving power to Aquarius, which is a beautiful sign about future and innovation and technology. But Leo is the fun and the play and the heart. Aquarius is the mind, Leo is the heart. So having Leo crystals can help balance us during the Pluto and Aquarius transit that we're in for the next 19, 20 years. So, okay, then we go to our last fire sign, which is Sagittarius, Saggy Waggies. And I really like the kit that we've made for Sagittarius and the crystals that we've recommended the most for this. This feels very saggy, very magical to me. The combination of the golden healer, lapis lazuli, and rutilated quartz. I love what we
Mhm.
did with this.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, yeah,
So, yeah,
and
what do you wanna say? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. No, see what you're going to say.
No, go.
Okay. No, go. Yeah, Golden Healer, that's one of my all-time favorites. I absolutely love Golden Healer, and that's correct me if I'm wrong, Sunny, but that's like one of the most newly discovered, is that correct? It's more of a newly
Yeah.
found
Well,
crystal.
okay, so golden healer, that's a trade name basically for iron and quartz. So iron and quartz is actually really old and ancient, and I'm sure people have been using it for thousands of years, but it was in Arkansas, they found like there's a lot of quartz mines in Arkansas, and then they started getting the iron coated quartz that was very
Mhm.
golden out of the mine, and then they called it golden healer. So technically, it's like a newer crystal, but it's probably not that new because it's just
Right.
it's iron inclusions in quartz basically.
Yeah.
But it was given that name um like I think in the 80s, maybe even sooner than that. I mean later than that.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
And this is one that we really associate with Christ consciousness and higher consciousness, which is what Sagittarius, Saggy Wadgies are all about, that higher consciousness, that higher perspective,
Mm-hmm.
right? I love meditating with Golden Healer
Yeah.
right on the third eye.
Yeah, and golden healer, I mean, the iron inclusions can be not just in clear quartz, but it can be in smoky quartz, it can be in rose quartz, it can be in any type of quartz really, and even other minerals too can have iron inclusions, which could make them a golden healer, whatever mineral. So yeah, I really like golden healer as well. Very good for
Yeah.
healing. Very good for healing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, confidence, teaching, acceptance, and being in alignment with what's for your greatest good, your highest good. Yeah, I mean, it's a very spiritual stone. It's great for meditating with, like you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
And lapis lazuli. I mean, all of these are very, I mean, all crystals are very spiritual, but these three in combination are very crown chakra, third eye chakra activating, right? Our higher consciousness, our psychic
Mhm.
abilities, higher knowledge. Lapis lazuli, another one that's been used since ancient times, in particular ancient Egypt. Of course, many of the clothing and jewelry and tombs have lots of lapis lazuli all over it. And that's one I really, really love.
Yeah. Lapis lazuli is really ancient and it is a stone of knowledge too because it's been traded amongst like it's from Afghanistan, so it was like traded to Egypt from the Mesopotamians.
Mhm.
And it's been used, I mean, like a bunch of ancient relics have been like carved, like the ancient carvings. It's been
Yep.
used for pigments in painting for centuries, even still used today for makeup. So it really is like a stone of communication and like learning and sharing with, you know, the world, because it's been all over the world. It's traveled the world. It's been used for so many different things for thousands of years. So just that alone shows you what it does. Like it's about sharing information, wisdom, art, creativity, knowledge,
Mhm.
spirituality, like religious stuff, you know, stuff like that. Like just so much. And yeah,
Yeah,
very revered in ancient Egypt for sure.
for sure. And another one of the really highly protective ones as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Definitely.
All
And
about communication and divinity. Yeah. Sorry. Huh?
yeah. And I was going to say goddesses too,
Oh, yes.
for
Well,
sure.
they carved goddesses and they
And
carved statues with them. So yeah.
mhm. And the rutilated quartz, love rutilated
Yes.
quartz, very much about expansion, with which we associate with the sign of Sagittarius. And I laughed before we went live for the show, Sunny, because Sunny has on the scorplingshop.com website these channeled crystal descriptions that she's written herself. She spent a lot of time doing those. And the one for rutilated quartz, I was laughing because you were talking about how this is like a problem solver crystal. And that's something that I really associate with the sign of Sagittarius, actually, which I feel like not a lot of people talk about all the time. It's very much a problem solving sign. If you spend time around a Saggy and you got an issue going on, they problem solve in a snap. They come up
Mhm.
with solutions in a snap. So rutilated quartz is also very much like that.
Yeah. Yeah, rutiles are actually pretty rare, and so when you find them in quartz, like it's very people will pay a lot for them. This is my own. Actually, I got this a couple weeks ago, and
That's beautiful.
what has happened within the weeks following getting this? It's like I was laughing about this today because it's it's acceleration. It's like your problems will be solved, but like be careful what problems you really want to be solved or what you're ready for because it accelerates things so quickly. It's like an explosion. It's like a firework.
Yeah.
So yeah. Their rutiles can be yellow, they can be red, they can be black, but yeah, yellow, red, black are like the most popular.
Hmm.
And yeah, they're intense. They're intense. So
They're
if you have any issue, like any ailment, anything that you want to like manifest or attract or anything that you want to get rid of, like any issue, basically, like you said, we are talking about problem solving, like this will
hmm
accelerate it. This will get to the root of it. This will expand it. This will like explode. Like it will just get in there and like break it apart so that you can see everything that needs to be done in order to, you know, get what it is, what your intention is while using it. So it's like very about moving forward, like quickly. It's like the 8 of Wands. It's like when you see it, it's like, oh shit, like
hmm
this
Oh
is
shit.
happening fast. Yeah, and it's crazy because it's so
Yeah.
true, because so many things have changed for me within, like, the past 2 weeks that I've been using this, and I didn't even know. I didn't know what was gonna change. It was just like there was an issue. My higher self knew there was an issue. God knew there was an issue.
Mhm.
Got the crystal, issue eradicated.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I love that. So cool.
I've been
So,
sleeping with
wow.
it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're at the hour mark. Time is going by so fast, and
Yeah.
Jens is about to go live with his expanding consciousness. So we want to be respectful of his
Yeah.
showtime start.
Yes.
And we're going to be back with you guys next week for our second Beyond Crystals weekly show, where we're going to get into crystals for the earth signs and the earth sign wisdom. So, thank you guys so much for joining us. And if you want to check out our new astrological crystal kits that we put a lot of love and care into, those are available at the link in the description box below, thescorplingshop.com. And you can use code AstroCrystal all in one word, all in one word to get 10% off. And it's really funny. Before we made them live, Sunny and I were like, what signs do you think are going to be the most getting the most of the kits? And so far, we're right, right, Sunny? It's been Cancers, Aquarians, quite a few Scorpios.
Yeah, I haven't checked the today or yesterday, but I think I saw, like, a few Leos as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
But
we're
definitely
getting a
Cancer, like, I knew
mix.
Cancer was gonna be, like, the first. I don't know why. I think the Crystal Cola with the, moonstone is, like, very attractive.
Love it. Yeah,
Mhm.
awesome. And great, excuse me, great gift as well for
Yeah.
anybody's sun, moon, and rising. So
Yes.
we'll see you guys next week, same time, same place, Beyond Mystic Channels, Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for joining us. And go check out Jens over at the Beyond Mystic Rumble and X channels for his Expanding Consciousness live right now. And of course, the Beyond News with JC and Janine will be later at 8 p.m. on the IAP. Sunny, amazing show. Looking forward to next week.
Yes.
And we love you guys. See you soon.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.